Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's as fascinating as it is controversial: Arthur Schopenhauer's understanding of truth when it came to women. Now, before we even begin, let's get one thing straight: Schopenhauer's views on women are, by modern standards, deeply problematic, misogynistic, and rooted in the prejudices of his 19th century era. Our goal here isn't to endorse them, but to understand them within the context of his broader philosophy and to critically examine what he believed. So, buckle up, because this is going to be a ride. Schopenhauer, the German philosopher, is famous for his pessimistic worldview, his concept of the will, and his profound influence on thinkers like Nietzsche and Freud. But he's equally infamous for his incredibly harsh critiques of women, particularly in his essay, On Women, found in Parerga and Paralipomena. To grasp his perspective, we first need a tiny bit of context on his core philosophy. For Schopenhauer, the fundamental reality of the universe isn't reason or a benevolent God, but a blind, irrational, ceaseless striving force he called the will. Everything, from rocks to plants to humans, is just an objectification of this will. Our intellect, our consciousness, is merely a servant to this deeper, more fundamental, and often painful will. It's designed to help us survive and procreate. So, how does this relate to women and truth? Schopenhauer believed that the will manifested differently in men and women, guiding them toward distinct roles primarily dictated by the propagation of the species. For him, women were primarily, almost solely, instruments of the species' will. He argued that women were 1. Biologically driven. He saw women as inherently more focused on procreation, the preservation of the species, and the immediate practicalities of life. Their physical constitution and psychological makeup, he contended, were entirely geared towards motherhood. 2. Intellectually inferior. This is where it gets particularly offensive. Schopenhauer explicitly stated that women were intellectually inferior to men. He believed they possessed less reason, less objectivity, and less capacity for abstract thought. For him, their intellect was secondary, serving the practical needs of the species rather than pure contemplation or the pursuit of objective truth. Oh, he saw them as inherently superficial, preoccupied with appearances and social standing, rather than genuine intellectual inquiry. Oh, their emotional nature, he claimed, made them prone to deception and lacking in a true sense of justice or fairness. Oh, he famously wrote, "Women are the sexes sequior, the second sex, inferior in every respect." Given these premises, Schopenhauer's understanding of truth for women was equally skewed. He didn't believe women were capable of grasping philosophical, scientific, or objective truth in the same way men were. For him, truth for a woman was pragmatic and superficial. It revolved around what was expedient, what maintained appearances, or what served their primary biological function. Truth was less about an objective reality and more about utility and social maneuvering. Intuitive, not rational. While he granted them a certain, intuitive, grasp of practical matters, he contrasted this sharply with rational, logical understanding. Their intuition, for him, was a tool of the will for survival, not a path to profound philosophical insight. Lacking in objectivity, because he believed women were driven by emotion and immediate gratification, he saw them as fundamentally incapable of detaching themselves from their subjective desires to perceive objective truth. So, in Schopenhauer's world, women were not meant for the lofty pursuits of philosophy or art, which he considered paths to escaping the will's suffering. Their truth was confined to the domestic sphere and the continuation of humanity, a function he saw as necessary but, paradoxically, inferior. He even advised against educating women extensively, believing it would make them unhappy and go against their natural role. Marriage, in his view, was a necessary evil for procreation, often marred by women's perceived irrationality and deception. Now, it's crucial to put this into perspective. Schopenhauer was a product of his time, an era steeped in patriarchal thinking. Many thinkers of the 19th century, unfortunately, held similar, though perhaps less extreme, views. However, Schopenhauer stands out for the sheer vitriol and philosophical justification he offered for his misogyny. Today, his views on women are almost universally condemned. They are not supported by any scientific evidence, are deeply sexist, and reflect a profound misunderstanding of human intellect and capability, regardless of gender. The idea that one half of humanity is inherently incapable of objective thought or philosophical truth is not just outdated, it's a dangerous prejudice. While we can appreciate Schopenhauer's contributions to metaphysics and ethics, particularly his insights into suffering and the subconscious, his writings on women remain a stark reminder that even brilliant minds can be blinded by societal prejudices and personal biases. When we read historical philosophy, it's vital to critically engage with it. We can learn from the strengths of a philosopher's thought while unequivocally rejecting its flaws and harmful elements. Schopenhauer's truth about women was less about objective reality and more about his own subjective biases, shaped by the patriarchal norms of his time. So, there you have it. A glimpse into Schopenhauer's highly controversial understanding of women and truth. It's a challenging topic, but one that highlights the importance of historical context and critical thinking when exploring philosophical ideas. What are your thoughts on Schopenhauer's views? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more philosophical deep dives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.